Okay. All right. I pressed the button. That means y'all can see me now. Hey. I'm like too excited. It's a good day. It's sunny outside. I just feel good. You sure? I just feel good. Anyway, my name is Jasmine Leva, and I'm the director of the film The Invisible Vegan, and I'm feeling silly today. And this is Invisible Vegan Weekly, where I just drop my one little vegan tip of the week. Just one. So someone at one of my last screenings asked the question, how do you approach friends about veganism? And that's complicated because people are different. You got to feel everybody out. You got to approach people differently. But for me, say I got a homegirl, right? And I think she's mentally off. So I'm like, let me give my homegirl a therapy session for her birthday. Now, how well that gift is received will depend heavily on, did she come to the conclusion that her way of life is not working and she needs to change? Or did I come to it? Because if I came to it and she hasn't, that gift can be read as extremely offensive and me overstepping my boundaries. And veganism, I put it in a similar category because you are telling someone like, hey, your way of life is fucked up. You need to change. And it should be more like me. And that is, it's a delicate subject. So before preaching, before yelling, before debating, ask questions. Find out how emotionally connected they are to their way of life. Find out if they, if the way they're eating is working for them health-wise. Like, just ask questions. And then if the person seems, and pay attention to their body language too. So when you start talking about veganism, if you notice like their body language starts like closing up and then they're giving you fake smiles and they look like they kind of want to walk away, then that means ease up. Just let it go, because you don't want it to become a negative experience for someone. You don't want them to feel like, oh, this cult person is approaching me. Just let it go. Drop it. And I also like to send people to sources, instead of me being the lawyer for veganism and trying to prove a case, just let them know, like, you know what? I used to feel the exact same way you did. Then I read this book that kind of changed the way I thought about it, or I watched this documentary that changed the way I thought about it, and refer them to the source. Hey, would you mind checking out the book Sister Vegan and just telling me what you think? Or I just watched Invisible Vegan on YouTube. Would you mind just checking it out? Because that's something, that was the film that kind of changed the way I looked at the subject. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then a few days later, ask them what they think. Bam, And if you run into someone who is giving you just nay energy, where they're just like, no, I love my pork chops. Fuck you, kill yourself because I'm not changing who I am. Let them have it. If someone is committed to their way of life, even if it's an ignorant way of life, even if, like, no, I want to eat McDonald's every day, as an adult, that is their right, and trying to force someone to do something that they don't want to do, that isn't effective. If anything, it just gives people a negative look at the movement. It becomes, like, oh, this is a cult, this is some kind of religion. And it's like, no. And you will exhaust yourself. Like, have you ever tried talking to somebody who's just not open-minded? It's exhausting. And instead of wasting energy on someone who might not be open-minded, you can just be talking to somebody who is interested in, looking at new types of approaches to food. So I think that's my nugget. See, friends? Yeah.